Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to take alkali metals. So we know about alkali metals, their general properties. So I will not go in that detail. We will cover this chapter or its important points through some questions. Right. First question is the correct order of densities. So for alkali metals, their density is very low. First thing is that they have very low densities. Why? One very important factor behind it that they have BCC structure, means body centered cubic structure, and their ionic radii are very large. Ionic radii is large, right? So because of this nature, their volume is high and this will lead to decrease in the density. So this point is very important. Through this point, two things are clear, that they have low densities, and another thing is that they have BCC type of structure. Then out of all alkali metal, lithium is lightest in nature, means its density is smallest. Then when we go down the group, density increases. But out of all these, this potassium has density lower than sodium. This point is important, right? So we have discussed how many points here, that these all alkali metals have BCC type structure, they have low density, density increases down the group, and lithium is the lightest known metal. Sodium has density low, greater than potassium. Then next question is ionic radii in aqueous solution. So first we will take what is the general pattern of ionic radii when we are talking about gaseous ions, not in aqueous solution. So for any group, when we go down the group, size increases. So without aqueous solution, the size should be like this. Lithium is the smallest, then sodium, then potassium, then rubidium, and then for cesium, right? But in case of aqueous solution, this water molecule forms a layer around the charged metal, and this hydration property, this property is called as hydration, and this hydration depends upon the charge and size of the metal. So if the charge density is high, hydration will be larger, means charge is same for all the alkali metal but size is different. Lithium has smallest size means its charge density will be highest, and for it the hydration will be highest, or you can say the hydration energy of lithium plus is highest, because its hydration property is highest, that is why the energy released in the process will be highest in nature. So because of this greater hydration, the size of lithium will be largest in the aqueous solution, right? So lithium plus has highest size, then sodium, then potassium, rubidium, and smallest size for cesium. This is when it is in aqueous solution, right? And because of this higher rate of hydration, the mobility of lithium in electric field will decrease, because it has higher size, so its mobility in electric field will be lowest. So if they are asking you that which metal has highest mobility in electric field in aqueous solution, then you can find out that it will be cesium, because it has smallest rate of hydration, and because of smallest rate of hydration it has the smallest size in aqueous solution and it can easily move around. So from this point many questions can be solved. Then next one is lithium has highest ionization energy yet strong reducing agent. What is the meaning of this point? Lithium, we know that what is the ionization energy. Ionization potential means energy required to remove the outermost electron when we are talking about IE1, first ionization energy. So out of all alkali metals, lithium has highest ionization energy, we all know about it. But instead of it, it has strongest reducing agent. It acts as strongest reducing agent out of all alkali metal. Strongest reducing agent means it will show the greater tendency for oxidation. Oxidation means it can easily give electrons, right? But these two things are different, so don't be confused with that. Ionization is the property when we are talking about a metal which is in isolated state, when metal in isolated state. But the reducing agent character means we are talking about its oxidation potential. It is the property when it is in solution form, right? In solution form it can conduct electricity, so we are talking when it is in solution form. So oxidation potential is determined by the sum of different things. First we have to sublime the metal from solid state to gaseous state, so it needs sublimation energy. Plus then the metal which is in gaseous state, we have to remove its outermost electron and convert it into ionic form, so it involves ionization energy. And the last is the hydration energy when it will go in the aqueous solution, hydration energy. So ionization energy is high for lithium, but hydration energy which will be released for lithium will be highest, right? So this high hydration energy will compensate all the energy factor, and because of it, it will act as strongest reducing agent out of all alkali metal because of high hydration energy. So these two things, that ionization potential and reducing agent character, are two different things. In one which we are talking about in gaseous form in isolated state, and when we are talking in about reducing agent character, it is in the solution form. Then next point is lithium burns in air. So what is the meaning of it? We want to find out that when lithium burns in air, what type of reactions will take place. So this property of lithium is different than other alkali metals. For example, we are taking sodium. So when we burn sodium in air, it will only react with oxygen, right? And it will form its peroxides and superoxides. We will talk about later that how peroxides and superoxides will form. So it will form peroxide and superoxides. Similarly, other alkali metals will form peroxide, superoxide, and heavier alkali metal will only form superoxides preferentially. But when we will burn lithium in air, it will react with oxygen as well as it will react with nitrogen. It will react with both. So this property of lithium matches with the property of magnesium. This is the diagonal relationship, and diagonal relationship is very basic type of thing, so I have not included that part in this video. You can study that part from any book. You can find the same content in all the books, right? When it will react with oxygen, it will form Li2O, and when it will react with nitrogen, it will form Li3N. Then next question is oxides of alkali metals. So lithium forms Li2O type of oxide, sodium can form peroxides, superoxides, and the tendency to form this peroxide and superoxide will increase down the group, right? Why this is so? Because lithium is smaller in size. So when you have smaller size cation, you need a smaller size anion to form stable compound, right? Lattice energy will be higher when both the cations and anions are of same size. So because lithium is small in size, that is why it will react only small size anion. And sodium and other alkali metal, when their size increase, they can react with the larger size anions. So when cations and anions are of same size, they will form stable compounds, right? So one thing is clear here, that why different alkali metals form different type of oxides because of their sizes. Same size cation and anion will form stable compounds. They have higher lattice energy. So this point is clear. One second point is that tendency to form peroxides and superoxide increases down the group. So this thing is also clear from the fact that they will form by the reaction of same size of cations and anions. Then we will see their reactions. So lithium react with oxygen to form Li2O. So you can balance this reaction, it will form this one. Then sodium react with oxygen to form peroxide, and potassium react with oxygen to form superoxides. So this question is also from NET, that how the peroxides will form or superoxides will form simply by the reaction of oxygen and alkali metal, right? Then next question about the stability order of carbonates and bicarbonates. So the carbonates and bicarbonates of lithium are highly unstable in nature. So when you will go down the group, stability increases. Stability of carbonates and bicarbonates increases. So I will directly write that stability increases. Second point is down the group, solubility is also increases. So we can solve two questions from here, that if they ask about the stability order, then you can say that cesium carbonate will be highest stable, will have highest stability than the lithium, right? Similarly, the solubility will be highest for the higher alkali metal, carbonates and bicarbonates. Then last and very important topic is about macrocyclic ligands, that is crown ethers. So I will just give you a brief introduction about what are crown ethers, then we will try to solve questions related to it and their usefulness for alkali metals. So crown ethers are basically large size ring large size ligands, and their naming is also very important. Suppose you have if they have given you that C6 crown ether. So what is the meaning of it? C6 denotes the number of oxygen, and when you want to draw the structure of crown ethers, always place oxygen toward inside the cavity. They should be inside the cavity of the crown ethers. Then you have to just place two carbons here, and you have to connect all oxygens by two carbons, CH2 CH2. You have to connect them by CH2 CH2. So total number of members in this ring will be 18. When you will count it, it will be 18, right? Means they can give you directly C6 crown ether, or they can give you 18 C6 crown ether. This number will be just 3 times of this oxygen numbers, right? So this is the way of naming of these crown ethers. The important property of these macrocyclic ligands crown ethers, that they can place alkali metals and other metals inside the cavity. This is called as the hole of this cavity, and this metal ion can be placed inside this cavity, and these donor oxygen will form a dative type of bonds with the metal ion. So if we want to dissolve alkali metal in non-polar organic solvents, then this type of macrocyclic rings are very useful. They can carry these alkali metals very efficiently into the organic systems, right? So this point is very important about it. Then how we decide that the most important thing for CSIR NET and GATE about this combination of different type of alkali metals with different type of crown ethers, right? Stability, or we can say that which alkali metal ion will fit in the hole of the cavity. This thing, the binding capacity of alkali metals with the crown ethers basically depends upon the size of the cavity, size of this hole, and the size of alkali metal. When their sizes matches very then when their sizes matches, then they will form very efficient bonding, right? So the most important property is the size of the cavity and the size of ion, fitting ion. So when we are talking about we are talking about in solution phase, crown 4, 5, 6 and 7, 4 to 7, all type of crown ethers prefer binding with potassium. This is when we are talking about in solution phase. So if they are asking you that for these particular type of crown ethers, which alkali metal will have highest binding efficiency, then in solution phase it will be for potassium, right? But if they are talking about in gaseous phase, in gas phase, it depends upon the type of crown ethers we are using. For crown 5 ethers, the highest binding affinity is for lithium, then for sodium, potassium and then for cesium plus. And for C6 it is highest for potassium, for sodium, then potassium, lithium, rubidium, cesium. C7 it is highest for potassium, then sodium, then rubidium, lithium and for cesium. So this order of stability of binding of these ions with the crown ethers depends upon the size of the cavity and the size of the alkali metal. So we have a question from December 14 that 12 crown 4 ether binds with alkali metal in the following order. The order is given. They are asking us that what is the factor behind it. So different options are given in this question. So right answer is the size of ions and the cavity. It depends upon the size. Most important factor is size, right? So you can remember this thing that for solution always preference will be given to potassium. Then in gas phases you can remember this order. Next we have cryptants, right? Cryptants are slightly different than crown ethers. They have football type of structure. The basic structure of a cryptant, which I am giving you here, cryptant 222. It has nitrogen atoms in it, and between this we have oxygen also, right? So for cryptants, if you have cryptant 211, then its cavity size fits well, has highest stability constant for lithium plus. For cryptant 221, it has highest stability for sodium plus, and for cryptant 222, it is for potassium, right? So from this point you can solve your question that the metal formation, the formation constant of complexation of metal with cryptant 222 follows this order, means it has highest affinity for potassium. So in option number 1 we have potassium on the highest side only, right? So from this we can solve this question, right? So if you have other type of cryptants, then you can remember that which cryptant has highest stability for which alkali metal, right? So these all are the important points about the alkali metals. Basic points you can easily solve them, just read once from any book about this alkali metals, and these are some important points which I have included here. One more thing is here that they can ask you about the formation processes, name of the processes in the different type of compounds. Like for sodium, the famous process is down process, right? So they can give you this type of question for match the column way. For NaOH we have Gaussage process. You have heard about all these processes in your 11th-12th classes, and you can just read them once. Then Nelson process is also for NaOH. For sodium carbonate, the famous process is the Solvay process. For NaOH we have one more here that is very important Kastner-Kellner process. One more is about potassium carbonate. It is Leblanc. You can have this type of process in your graduation books. For potassium carbonate, Leblanc process is very important. So you can just read them once and you can remember them. They can give you in the match the type of questions. So that's it. I will end today's video here. I think I have included all the important points about this alkali metal. Next time we will start boron family. That is very important topic. I will include all the important points about that. We are skipping alkali earth metals. They are not so important. You can read just once from any book, so and nothing is there to explain. So we will start with boron family. Keep watching, and if you like my videos, please share my videos with your friends. Thank you so much for watching.